We're live.
Perfect. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of TDS Live. We're going to break down the SMU film tonight and see what the Bulls are looking to improve upon as they utilize this very important bye week as they kind of get a break from their incredibly tough schedule. And then they kind of, gently land the plane on the back half of this schedule, and it's starting to shape up. We talked about it quite a bit last night and on the podcast, so I won't belabor the point, but the rest of the season's kind of setting up nicely for the Bulls. Another thing kind of setting up nicely for this bye week, Homefield apparel coming to a USF fan near you. Guys, this has been, it's got to be at least 2 years in the making. Senator Giggity and Robert Steig have really pushed for this. You see it in the Homefield replying to their announcement, hey, this is all for you at Robert Steig Life. Besides Rant Shota tweeting at Homefield wondering when USF was going to get a line with them is probably up there in one of Steig's top 3 shticks. So he's going to have to figure something else out. But Seth, as a hashtag Homefield influencer, you may have gotten some product ahead of the announcement tomorrow at 10 a.m. where fans will be able to buy stuff, and there may or may not be a promo code to give out to fans tomorrow at 10 a.m. So be on the lookout for that if it's potentially possible. How are the shirts?
Yeah, so far cool. I love the logos they're able to get. Pretty cool stuff. Got to wash it to get maximum softness, but so far, I think a lot of people will be really pleased with it. And then from all I've seen, I think they're going to do pretty well. So I know I'll probably be going back for some other ones, but yeah. So what I've gotten so far is pretty cool. So I think a lot of people are going to be pleased at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
I think so too. I got to see 3 of the designs, and they were phenomenal. And there's 3 more additional ones. So they've really worked hard with USF hand in hand. They had to jump through some hurdles on both ends to make this partnership work. I think we could go back into my DMs for the last year and a half, just trying to help facilitate this thing as we got it brokered between Colin, myself, the athletic department, and the university, and Homefield itself, just trying to get in front of the right people and making this thing work. And I'm excited that USF is finally embracing their retro logos, because they've got some pretty cool ones, and I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited for the fans to see it and the nation at large, because Homefield, their shirts are so soft. And I promise you guys, these are going to be the softest shirts and hoodies that you'll ever wear. And they've got some great product from other schools across the country. Tulane has a great line of shirts with great logos. I mean, shit, even Florida's got some good stuff if you're into that. Like, they do a really good job of digging into the archives.
They got this little guy, I think, on his shirt back here.
I think so.
The crazy gator face, yeah. So really cool stuff. Yeah, I think people are going to be very excited and very pleased when they kind of get to see what it looks like. And like I said, I'm going to probably be going back for some more stuff, just because I really like several of the designs I've seen. So got to collect them all like Pokemon, right?
Exactly. And they do refreshes every few months, so you'll get a new shirt design as schools, allow them and let them roll them out. But yeah, super excited for this partnership with them. And man, it's just been a long time coming, man, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, it's been well over a year in the making. So if you've seen Steig tweeting about this for a long time, you don't have to worry about seeing those as much, and you actually get to see some real product. So that'll be pretty fun.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump into it. USF is on their bye week this week, but they're fresh off a 41-17 loss at the hands of the now ranked SMU Mustangs, where Tanner Mordecai kind of picked them apart a little bit, but I think it was by design. For the most part, they didn't really hit many big plays because the USF defense, kind of dictated that to some degree. Let's kick things off with SMU's first drive of the game here.
Yep.
And Seth, what are we getting into?
So we're going to go we're pretty much going to go sequentially throughout the game here. So we'll start on the defensive side of the ball. Mostly, I kind of want to show defensively. They showed a bunch of different looks, and they tried to throw different things at SMU, and sometimes it worked at confusing them. Sometimes they got them to guess wrong, and then other times SMU guessed right and got some pretty big plays. But it wasn't just a static, we're just going to line up and play you guys. They did some different things, and it started, here on the second play. So we'll get into it. So we talked about if you're only going to have 3 guys on the line of scrimmage and you're not huge up front, what do you got to do? You got to move a little bit and play some games. So you see here, second down, they play some games. They're able to get a little bit of pressure here. Not a lot, but just a simple game up front here. And you'll see Blake Green's able to kind of win and get a little bit of pressure at least on the quarterback before he makes his throw. SMU's running mesh. USF does a pretty good job of dropping underneath, making them take the underneath throw here. Because they will have a sit coming over the ball that they'd like to get to. And then making them drop it down and then rally and tackle. 2nd and 11 on the first drive turns into 3rd and 8. And then here, what they did a few times on 3rd and long is they went to the 4-man front on 3rd and long. I think that they thought that might help them with bring a pass rusher in, maybe get them to turn the protection a certain way. But quite a few times on 3rd and long, they'd play a 4-man front. They're going to play zone coverage here. You just don't quite get home, and they're able to find the soft spot in the zone coverage. So you'll see later 3rd downs they play man, but they played some zone early. But SMU's got good receivers and a good quarterback, and if you don't get there, they're going to give you some problems up front. So here I put this in. I thought this was a pretty good job fitting up a difficult run right here. Right here, this looks like it's going to be a really good play, right? You got a blocker for him. You got another one blocking for the linebacker. Well, I believe this is Mekhi LaPointe, who was hurt a few weeks ago. Watch him come up and make the play. They get a first down here. Well, that's a pretty good job making a play for a minimal gain from the safety spot, coming up and filling for the run in a tough situation. So here's one where you're like, we don't really want man coverage, right? So what happens here, it kind of really doesn't matter what you're running. He's going to run just a go. So it's going to take the corner out of the play. The corner's going to run with it, right? I think it's him that'll here and get the flat. They're just running like a flood combination. They're trying to run the corner out of there, get somebody to take the flat, and then hit this over the top. Good recovery speed here by Matt Hill, who I think is still kind of learning the position. A better throw beats him, but a good job here to recover and separate the receiver from the ball for an incompletion there on first down. 3rd and 10. Go to quarterback draw. You go to 3-man rush. So that's the different look, right? The last 3rd and long, they had 4 in. This 3rd and long, they play with 3. Drop 8 underneath it. Quarterback draw, you rally and tackle. I think you get them to a 4th and 5. So this is just a really good play call here by SMU. 4th down, I think USF wants to play some type of man coverage. It looks like cover 1. They're going to motion him behind into a stack, which makes it a lot tougher to play man right on top of him, right? Because he kind of gets a free release there, and you can't really get up on the line of scrimmage as he's motioning because he could just as easily come back out, right? So good route and good timing here by the quarterback and receiver, but just kind of a really good play call. But again, they didn't sit back and play deep zone. They're playing man and bringing some pressure. Good play design by SMU. Good throw and catch. That's always good offense. The way football is being played now, good offense beats good defense more often than not. So, but you're just seeing they're not giving a constant look. They're changing things up. And then here, this is just looks like some type of confusion up front, right? This is just simple numbers matching. If we consider him the third here, you got 1, 2 out here. Here's your 3. He's kind of running this way for some reason. There's some confusion. Then they realize, hey man, you're back over there. He gets back over there, but right now you're outnumbered. Right now, you got to get there and make the play. And then what's tough here is you don't want to. He makes a move inside, but you don't want to give him the outside here. So they both kind of play back inside and let him get back out. If you look inside here, if he just stays outside and forces him in, even if he doesn't make the play, look at all the pursuit you have coming down the line of scrimmage. So don't give up the outside there. You do, he gets around you outside and your pursuit can't get there. If you force him back inside, so it's just kind of an alignment issue up front. And then right here, if you just force him back inside, your pursuit's going to make the play. But if you let him get back outside like you do here, well, now my pursuit's not going to get there. So if he's cutting in here, he's probably getting smoked by Bellamy right here. The other way, he goes for a touchdown. So thin margins, right?
Exactly. We've talked about it, right? It's just some lack of I don't know, core, field awareness,
experience,
right?
And just kind of getting. And then I didn't quite see who that was at corner, but they I think they started to walk on at corner. So just
it could have been Joshua Green there out there.
I think he played pretty well, but he hasn't played a ton. So little things, just sometimes getting used to that full speed, the first drive of the game, that can happen. This was a great throw. USF's first play of the game. You're going to see like a boot concept here. And this is a great throw. And Timmy has some really good throws in this game. So faking here, rolling out, go route, try to take the top off the defense. Out. This is just kind of a normal boot concept. They bring the flat guy from the other side, and then he's going to run like a deep crosser and kind of go behind the tight end here. So normal boot concept. This is nothing. You'll see this in the NFL a ton. They take that away, right? You got that coming in behind it. They pursue that too hard. You got this coming in, and this is not an easy throw to make on the run. Put it right on him. Good job of the receiver kind of flattening out behind here and not drifting off into space. And good catch there on the run. But good first play. That's first play of the game on offense right there. Really good job. Well designed. Good throw on the run. McLean made some throws in this game that were choice, and we'll get to those. Second down. 2nd and 5 here after you pick up the first down and have a nice 5-yard run on first down there. McLean takes off. Right here, he could probably just stay vertical, trip, get the first down. Or when he cuts out here, probably, even though it's 2nd down, probably can get vertical, maybe take a hit, but still get the first down. Instead, he kind of goes out of bounds, and then you can see here Coach Scott pointing.
Very animated.
Dude, get the first down. So, young guys, you're constantly coaching them, right? So, great play by him to get out of that situation. But just, hey, man, get that first down. So, they're constantly coaching, which is good to see, right? And then, so you're forced to punt. And this is just kind of an example of the bounces you're hoping will turn your way eventually. You get a punt. You've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on 2. It takes a weird hop. And then it just kicks up off the turf to somebody that wasn't even in the picture. Like I said last night, that there's a lot of there's skill, there's coaching, but there's also some luck involved. This is just some bad luck. You get the ball and a chance, pretty really good field position to go in and tie the game. Instead, they get the ball back and they go down the field here. Here, I thought they did a pretty good job with this wide zone stuff. So you see how they're playing a little bit. He's playing flat down the line, and this guy is coming back. And this happens a few times, and this gives this some problems, which is interesting, right? So he plays flat down the line. You'll see one later, and he does a good job of winning across face. And now here's the guy that looped back around. You're looping right back into him, and they both get free there. Second and 9. Again, this is a pretty good job of fitting this up right here. Right, they're bringing two. They're bringing a guy to kick and a guy to wrap, right? They want to down block this guy right here. Clean all that up. Let these guys pull for these two linebackers coming over the top, right? But watch what you get up front here. He takes the down blocker, and then this guy wraps around and ends up kind of killing one of the pullers. So your other linebacker, Boyles, come up, kills the other one, and then you get good pursuit back here, backside by Bellamy. So that play's dead, and then Bellamy lays a hit on this guy right in the hip that I'm sure he was feeling the next day.
There goes that man again.
Yeah, and this is the. I mean, they ran for 350 on TCU the week before. The one thing I think you have to take positives from defensively is you held them below a lot of their averages for the season in terms of points and yards. I think a lot of the numbers they held them below their averages. So here's a third and long. We've seen the third and long with 4 guys that they played softer zone. We've seen the third and long with 3 down linemen. They played softer zone. Here's 4 down linemen. They're going to play man coverage and bring some pressure. SMU just got a really good play call on for it. He just gets totally lost right here. And that's a tough, they're basically trying to pick him too, right? This is kind of little bit of mesh underneath here. And he's really just trying to come across and pick the corner. He does a pretty decent job of it. I mean, he's lunging at the guy right in front of the ref. But he actually whiffs, so it doesn't work out for him. But so there's another, it's just a different, they showed him a different look, and I think SMU just kind of guessed right and caught him in one, and you get this guy in man coverage going downfield. So that's 3 third and longs. They've showed 3 different things. Here's the 3rd and 8 here in the red zone. We talked about holding them to field goals in the red zone. Great job of understanding route concepts. The ball's thrown, turn around and get involved. And I can't believe this was even reviewed for targeting.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a really good hit.
Yeah, face masks are allowed to touch. It happens in football. If we're going to start call targeting when face masks touch, every offensive, defensive lineman is going to get kicked. We're going to be playing with all backups on both lines of scrimmage because those guys are touching face masks. I can guarantee you. This one's pretty well blocked up right here. And then great job by Battie. It kind of gets a stalemate, but you block kind of everybody you're looking to right here. He's coming back here. You get a good job kicking here. He's wrapping for him. You get like a hat on a hat here. They do a pretty good job. He kind of, is trying to just kind of push the pile a little bit. Feels that it's kind of stalemated right there and then bounces back to the other side. Great job by him. But this was blocked pretty good up front at the point of attack initially. Maybe could have squeezed through here, but there's some arms coming loose. So great job of he's kind of, sometimes you teach those guys get in the puller's hip pocket. Well, he's there. And then he feels this stalemate. Great job cutting back across the formation. And you don't really question running backs when those guys have shown they know they can make those kind of plays. You kind of give them what the reads are generally, and then let those guys go play. And this is a great play by Battie right here, turning what could have been a 2 or 3 yard gain into a really big run to open the drive here. This is one of the throws I was talking about. This is a big time throw right here. Opposite hash. Right, we're on the opposite hash. We're basically just running an out route. Deep out, 10-yard speed cut out, really to 12-yard speed cut out. This is not an easy throw. This thing did not spend a ton of time in the air. That's really hard to defend. Because if you come up and play press, well, we can take shots over the top. If you're off and bailing and you can do this, that's going to be hard for people to stop right there. Really good throw, really good route, really good timing, big time stuff. So you get to 3rd and 5 here, right? We saw first play of the game, they did a boot, right? Fake here, boot out. He was the vertical guy. We had a deep crosser, right? They did it a little differently, but the concept is vertical. Yeah, you have some crossers, right? He's actually going to be the deep crosser guy. They're going to hope to catch the safety's eye, which they do, and then he's coming back across that way. So this is set up really well. They even get a little roll action here to try to get him influence these eyes here, and then put some eye candy in front of him with a deep crosser by Dollison, and then that opens up a ton of space behind it here. Roll it. It was always coming back to this. Just miss him. He's got a lot of room there. Here it is from the back view. You can watch right here. Watch eyes on Dollison. You see he comes in. He starts to transition this way, and once he breaks a little bit towards, right, he's following Dollison across. They're all crossed up. If you can hit that, it's wide open. Just miss it. And then you see here Weaver's route. Running away from the guy. Doesn't miss by much. But still goes down as incomplete. And then you're forced to punt right there. I guess you're not forced to
You're
punt.
not. You are not. Let's be
Forced to punt.
Let's be perfectly clear. You are
to punt.
You elected. You chose to punt in that situation.
Yeah. So you choose to punt. Why do you choose to punt? You're putting your faith in your defense, right? So here you got him to 3rd and 3.
Except the part where Jeff Scott said he trusted Andrew Stokes and had said nothing about the defense except that, well, in hindsight, if I knew that they were going to go down and score.
I mean, it was implied.
It was
the trust was implied.
Right.
Because I felt like I knew they were going to go down and score.
I don't know. We talked about this on the podcast yesterday. I feel like you and I have such a good feel for this team, and I think a lot of the fans do have a pretty good feel for this team. I bet if you polled 1,000 people and said, what is going to be the result if USF punts from the SMU 34-yard line on 4th and 5, what would be the result for SMU's next drive? I would venture to guess 995 people would say that they would score, and then 5 people are lying.
No, the fan base can be a little fatalist during games, but in that point, I think they would be correct here. But you get into 3rd and 3, you get a stop right here. Hey, Coach Scott, you're off the hook.
But
3rd and 3.
But what part would lend you to believe that they were going to stop you?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So you get a nice little pick play here from SMU. Again, they're playing man, basically. They brought Boyles down on the line of scrimmage. So again, a little bit of a different look. Man with kind of maybe a spy here, or just kind of a hole, playing in the hole, kind of a rat. But he's basically going to push off on him, and then he gets put in no man's land because of that, because he pushes vertical. It's just a nice little rub or a pick play. If USF ran it, they'd probably get called for it. But right there, rub through, he's able to get underneath, and you pick up the first down. So that's where you're hoping, all right, defense, rise up for me. I need you here. Almost. But good play design by SMU, and they convert. Good job of just getting penetration and killing this play. You see this is like snapped really quick, so they're still getting lined up. But, I mean, who is this right here? Is that 96? It's hard to tell. But look at the push you get. pushing that guy into the backfield. Great job. And this is a team that had not allowed a lot of tackles for loss and a lot of sacks and a lot of pressures. And even with 3 down, they did a pretty good job of getting into the backfield there. Again, a little game up front. Here, wrapping around. Getting some push. But here's kind of the issue, right? This is why I want to put this one up. You drop and play zone, but this guy is pretty good. So when you're like, well, why aren't they playing this? Why aren't they playing that? That's a pretty good throw. And not like a gigantic window. It's a window. But the ball is placed, on the money between 3 dudes. There's not a lot you can do for that when the guy can do that.
Yeah.
So pretty good throw. You play zone, and if they get time, that's what's going to happen. But that's just in there because it's not like this guy's a scrub. That's pretty good placement between a bunch of guys. If he's off a little bit, you may get this safety underneath it. If he misses inside, he could get underneath it. If he's high, you got this guy here. He just throws it perfectly and with good timing to his receiver. So this one's on because this is what BYU scored on this last week. And you maybe could have got a pick out of this. But basically the same thing BYU scored on. You have this guy coming here, and he's coming to come back across the grain here. Last week BYU had a guy wide open. This week you got a pretty good job of getting this thing across. One on the back. If he turns his head around, he probably picks it. But you still get a break up on 1st and goal there. An improvement from last week, right? Basically the same concept, but the corner did a pretty good job of running all the way across. And I think that is Mr. 34. That is the walk-on, I believe, there. That started. Doing a good job of navigating through all that traffic right there. Putting himself in a position to get his hand in there, and then you have Vincent Davis get back there as well. And if he turns his head around and make it a pick. 3rd and goal. Try to bring some pressure. This one I put on because it looks like you kind of just get mixed up here on the pressure. He's slanting across here. He's coming off the edge. And I think Boyles is just one of these guys, I believe, is just in the wrong gap because they end up running into each other. I don't know with the slant if he's supposed to come. My guess would be he's slanting here. He's coming right off there, and then he's outside. So you're putting 3 here trying to get this opening. So if Boyles is here, he might catch this guy slipping, and then you got Greer coming off the edge as well. But for whatever reason, they kind of get mixed up in a gap, and now you're playing man coverage. And again, the ball is thrown well before this guy's head is turned and thrown into a pretty good spot. Those guys are on scholarship too. They're pretty good. So, but again, you're showing different looks a lot, which is kind of what I was looking for. Are you being static and showing the same thing, or are you trying different things? Could be a little RPO, could just be play action here. A good job by McLean flipping his hips, finding Jimmy Horn. That was a connection that proved quite fruitful on the day.
Yep.
3rd and 6.
What? 5 catches, 102 yards.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yep. 3rd and 6, you get rush off the edge. The back does a really good job. That's Mangum picking this up. McLean sees an opening. Takes off, initially looking to throw. And good job here by Jimmy Horn as well. I believe this is him. He's sitting, and when he sees McLean take off, you'll see he'll turn and get upfield. Takes the defender with him. McLean keeps it. If the defender would have come off, I'm sure he would have dropped it to Horn right there. So good job. 3rd down conversion, 1st and 10 right here. Really good catch here by Brinkman. I know he had some drops late in the game, but this is a tough catch. This is not an easy catch right here. I believe this is. I can't see. I believe there's somebody down there. So I'm guessing you outside guys going vertical, and you have kind of a Y cross concept. He's coming here. He could do a lot of things on the backside. You could post it. You could run a dig. But Y's coming across the field. Good job by McLean. Linebacker comes free here. Good job understanding that might cause a hole right there. Give your tight end a chance to catch it. Good job going down and making a – that's a tough catch right there for a big guy running full speed to go down and get it.
Yeah, and kind of across his body and down, right? I mean, that's a tough.
That's
grab.
a much tougher catch than the ones he dropped later. So you just have to kind of chalk those up to bad, whatever. I think one may have been tipped. The one near the end zone the guy may have gotten a finger on it, but he can obviously catch. That was a tough catch he made right there. So I'm sure in the future he'll make those contested catches and those easier catches and things. So. I love this is when I go back and watch, I love seeing them get McLean on the perimeter and giving him options in the option game, whether it's this toss power read type thing, or they run some just straight speed option later.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a pretty good decision maker, and he's obviously dynamic with the ball in his hands. And the other part is when these backs catch these pitches, they're tough in the open field. Mangum has got good feet, and he's also a big guy that runs pretty powerfully. Joyner and Batee are both guys that when they get in the open field, they can make you miss. And they're tougher runners than you'd think because of their size. So I love getting those guys in the open field. I love the speed option and that kind of stuff to let them get that look. Here's just a play where we're trying to get the ball in Jimmy Horn's hands. Like the whole design is to get the ball in his hands. We're going to fake the jet. Use that, but you see the receiver up top the whole time. They're expecting some type of man coverage, I believe, right? He's just coming inside to push crack here. The corner falls off. This is basically just, hey, we're going to throw it to Horn and let him go in the open field. SMU does a pretty good job here because the safety does a pretty good job of seeing it and following him all the way across. But this is a great 2nd and 1. I love this. Just get it to him in the open field and see what he can make happen. At worst, you pick up the first down, which you did. At best, you're getting a guy that's really dynamic, the ball in his hands in the open field, right? Here's a concept that I think basically won like Johnny Manziel the Heisman in 2012. They were kind of on the cutting edge of this stuff. But I believe this is basically stick. Empty stick draw for quarterbacks. I believe up top they got that. You can really just watch him if you're a quarterback. And this is what they would do. If you go back and watch Manziel, they would just get an empty a ton and run this. And he would just read that linebacker. If that linebacker left the box, right here, he's gone. He's playing the pass. Well, now it's a run. And you should have, linemen in there to block. So you should have numbers in the box if he leaves. If he would have stayed in here, he would have just stuck it right on him right there. So really, I love this concept with the mobile quarterback. So this is something that's good to see them putting in with McLean in there. This is something that's probably better for him than the other guys they have on the roster. So you're starting to see them kind of game plan towards his strengths, I think.
Yeah, and that second effort when he gets hit at the 4-3 yard line and was able to kind of drag a guy across to get that fresh set of downs on second and 9 is pretty. He got hit at the 4 and he dragged the guy 2 yards for the first down.
Yeah, he's a tough runner, which is always good to see for a freshman. You just hope he doesn't expose himself to anything unnecessary in the hits department, but he's pretty tough, so you feel like he can take some of those. Great design here on 2nd and goal. Unfortunately, you get a false start. But a lot of times, right, on the goal line, we've seen this zone. He's coming and kicking out the end. These guys everybody wants to make the big tackle on the goal line. So make it look like just I'm coming to block him, and now, oops, I slip him. Really good ball handling here by McLean to get the ball out, make a good run fake, and still just drop it over. Easy touchdown. Unfortunately, you get the false start. and then you get the delay game and put you in 3rd and long, and you end up only getting a field goal out of that drive. So 2 killers with penalties right there. Pretty good drive that you only get 3 out of. We talked about before the game. You want to make sure you get 7 every time you get in the red zone against a team like SMU. It'll come back to bite you if you don't, and obviously it did. Towards the end of the half or here, I thought it's a pretty good job of kind of seeing that, it was not like totally easy for SMU. USF did a pretty good job. I mean, they won a few times against the team that had not given up a sack with just rushing 3 guys. It forced him to just spike the ball into the ground and get to 2nd and 10 here. And then 2nd and 10, they try to run like the jet, touch pass. Great job by the defensive end, just getting upfield and recognizing it.
Jason Vaughn absolutely blew that play up before it even started. So good job by him.
It's funny when we were blocking like the jet stuff in high school, we would always block the end. A lot of the college guys just don't block the end. They're like, he won't make the play. Well,
pal, let me tell you,
Rashee Rice may have something to say about that. So interesting. Some guys, they don't do that. They think it happens so fast. This is a really great job by the back end. This was just a total complete play right here. They're trying to run, and we'll see it from a wider view here. So I'll just let this one run, and we'll show you from the wider view. They're trying to run something Lincoln Riley, which is the OC's brother, loves to run. USF ran it against Florida. Great job by Tremel Logan. Great catch here. Just in case they didn't call it I believe they called it an interception, right?
Yeah.
Good job. They're going to try to take it from you. So this is a concept Oklahoma loves to run. I think they call it like shallow sting or something to that effect. USF ran it. This is when they ran to Xavier Weaver that Cade Fortin did a really good job moving his feet and finding him. Makes it look like a shallow route and then gets lost vertically. And usually there's a ton of space there. So 3rd and 15, they're trying to get that. You see him come across. Well, they do a good job of recognizing this. I think he might have been thinking about throwing it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, do you see the depth that Daquan Evans gets? Because it seems like he knows exactly what this play is. Like he has dissected that play as he's going. Because if you restart that play, all right. So he's at the 40 or the 38-yard line, right?
Yep.
Just watch him and the depth he gets while this play develops, and he gets a push to kind of keep the guy off a route. But he's now at the 35. And he just keeps getting depth, and
he takes an angle basically to where the route's going to be. So
meets him at the 30.
Obviously, they kind of had an idea this could be a call right here, and they scouted it up pretty well. So this is something like you see the play up front. It's a great play by Tremel Logan, just a great individual play. You can see him just hand fighting down here and doing a great job with his hands and just knocking away the hands of the tackle and then winning. Great job by him, and then great catch by Boers. But on the back end, these guys played it perfectly too.
Yeah,
on the play that's gotten a ton of people, and like we talked about, USF got Florida on that earlier in the year. So
I mean, that's the hour spent in the film room. It's knowing it individually and executing it to perfection. There for a defense that's been reeling. It's.
There were some good moments in this game.
Yeah, we talk about the improvement of the offense, and we've harped on how the defense is kind of lagging behind. But then you get something like that, and you see how it was schemed up perfectly, it was executed perfectly, and you get the turnover out of as the result. And there's not much else you can do, defensively. That's just perfect all around. That's the perfect play. If I had to pick one from this game, that's just
great job by the defense. Here you go. You get the turnover again, a chance to you get a chance here. 2nd and 15, the first play. I think you got like a linebacker run through on the outside zone. That'll happen sometimes. It was a really good play by the linebacker. But here you get like you kind of showed that that out route earlier to Xavier Weaver, right? And we'll see it here, right? They've seen this speed out, so you kind of get like a little speed out and go. Good timing on it, 2nd and 15. They're not necessarily playing way off right here, so sell the speed out right there. Oh, he breaks on it for a second. That's a win for the receiver right there. Just a little long. There's another potential. If you're able to hook that one up, that's another touchdown right there. So I mean, you drive down to basically the 1 yard line. A penalty takes away a touchdown. You miss a touchdown earlier. You barely miss this one here. That's really 3 touchdowns you've taken off the board yourself. And this is a 17-3 game right here, I believe. So
yeah, so
that was the frustrating part. Right?
Yeah, you hit on those 3, and it's what 21. It's 21-17 going to halftime or something like that to that effect, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, and here's the very next play. So again, 3rd and 15. Now you took a shot. Great job here by McLean extending the play. And then you got another shot at it, and again, just miss. This is Weaver does a really good job coming all the way across the field here. He kind of sees it and just breaks. Once he sees McLean break the pocket, he breaks upfield. So that's one thing you can tell these guys have been really well coached on. And we've seen in previous games understanding like the scramble rules and what Timmy can do and how he can push the ball vertically. Again, just missed it. That's another one. You hit that one, another touchdown there. So that drive had a couple potential touchdowns that you were probably within 2 yards of scoring. Unfortunately, football is very, finite. The rules are very strict. You've got to complete it and make it all the way past the end line. So no points. But I think you see progress. Put this on here into the half, but just a great job by the defense kind of getting the ball.
Really big time shout out to the running back for running out of bounds there.
He didn't want any part of that.
Just
he saw like 7 meters of the ball and was like, all right, let's just
galaxy brain from him right there.
Let's just be safe here. All right, you get the ball back with 23 seconds left. I believe so. This is not the same play that they would have hit on against Florida, but I believe you get this here. You can't see it. They don't have a great angle of it on the broadcast, but it looks like you get him a move to the corner, and then he just smokes this dude back across the face to the post. You can kind of see to the very end here, he's starting to get like he's pushing the corner. You see that little stick right there? Gets the guy to open up his hips, and then he breaks back across his face, and let's see how open he gets here. That's the guy that was guarding him. He got pretty open. Yeah, so Jimmy Horn is going to be an issue for people in the slot because you're going to have a lot of safeties on him. So right there, get to the corner. Thank you very much. Open your hips. It's over. A little bit better ball would help here, but really you complete it. I think this was like a 30-yard throw or something to that, a 35-yarder or something. Get you in field goal range, unfortunately, and I don't have that on here. Unfortunately, young guy mistakes takes you out of field goal range and kind of runs the clock out.
I appreciate it.
That's something we can work on.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to relive the 4th and 5 situation. I didn't want to have to relive the end of the half because I lost years of my life on that one. I'll be honest.
We're on to the second half. So here, I think this is kind of an RPO here. Watch inside. They're kind of folding this, which is cool right here against this look. Folding the tackle there. So it's almost like you get your tackle ISO'd up. Might be a good thing he pulled this. It looks like the running back trips. So you have a pretty good hole here, but you also have this guy open in the slot. Great job taking it. I'd take that every day. Good run after catch. Again, that guy's going to be an issue. Thank you very much to their high school for providing those two to USF for years to come. I think it'll be a very fruitful partnership.
I agree. Shout out Sanford.
Yes, thank you. So another good throw here on speed out, again, almost from the far hash. This is not taking a long time to get there. You know what I mean? This is not like a big looping throw. This is not an easy throw to make. This is the one they like to judge you on in the NFL, that deep out. Good throw, great run after catch by Xavier Weaver here. But again, you're seeing flashes of really great stuff this game. This is just what he provides that not a lot of guys can do. Pulls it, looks like it's RPO. Kind of pulls it. He can maybe try to throw this thing in there. It's a little muddy. So he just watch him shift his hips 3 times. Oop. Number 97 never really had a chance. Poor guy. He's running
shot.
He's running as hard as he can right here. Good effort on film. No loafs, but he's got no shot there. The guy's just a special athlete at quarterback, and as we've seen, he can throw too. He's not just a guy that'll just sit back there and run around, like a chicken with his head cut off. He can sit and make plays within the structure too. Like right here, I put it in just because here's why I put it in. You have 3 guys into the boundary, which is really difficult to defend, and you go empty. So how do you defend, right? Because this is technically the passing strength is here, and you don't typically see people put those guys in the boundary because they want more room, right, to the field. So this is on the hash. You have another hash down here. There's a lot more room this way. So you don't typically see this, but people do this, especially with up-tempo, because it really messes with defense's rules. So right here, I think you're going to see a hitch. You're going to see a wide go. And I'm not sure what he runs. It's hard to tell, but he basically eats up the safety. And then the corner jumps up on this hitch, and that's why you get this guy so open here. Because there's the hitch. Your safety that was over top of number 3 is widened out because he came inside, and that's what opened up the throw. So this is the one I think could have possibly been tipped. It's hard to tell from this angle, but the other angle, it looks like maybe he got a finger on it and changed the trajectory a little bit. So maybe there's a little reason maybe the ball was dropped, but just kind of wanted to show how just the formation kind of gets this concept open, because it's really hard to defend for the defense. And good job by McLean finding him late. Could have been a touchdown there. But I think you score on this drive, so no harm, no foul, right? Jet motion, watch the safety. Play to the jet. He's going to come back to the middle, but he's not rotating hard. If he rotates hard, I think he just comes back to Dollison, because you end up getting 2 guys in pretty similar spots here, which I don't know if that was the play, but safety rotates, not hard enough. Really good throw. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be the advised throw. That's a really good throw.
Put it where only your guy can get it, right? That's the rule?
That's correct. And he got it, and then he trips and almost scores. But luckily, this time, no penalties. You're able to take the ball in on the next play.
Yeah, Jaron, Marion Barber, touchdown vulture, Mangum comes in and cleans it up for us.
Really good hard run. Probably should have been stopped for a 2-yard loss. But again, for being as big as he is, he's got pretty good feet, and he's a hard runner. So he's really tough to stop in these situations. Good run. The team's fired up. 17-10 game. Why? What is this?
Were they trying to hit the screen here, and then decided not to?
Yeah. So this is. They probably have. So what they probably have here is they're trying to get that, and then have him look like he's blocking and up the sideline. But I'm just saying, this is the one that did not get called intentional grounding, right?
Oh my God! Yeah,
right. They said he was outside the tackle.
He was outside the tackle box, man.
He wasn't even outside the guard box.
He wasn't outside the center box.
So I just put this on there because it was just like, what are you talking about? So that's tough. That's a tough whistle there. So, but again, this is a good job. This is defense. You go to a 4-man line. You move a little bit up front. You win on the outside. You force what should have been basically a sack and a intentional grounding, and you don't get it. So they go down and get a field goal out of the drive. So kind of a bad whistle there.
Kind of
a bad whistle.
It was kind of a bad whistle. Like punting on 4th and 5 from SMU's 34 was kind of a bad idea.
Yeah, they're similar, and these are the same degrees here. This is one that this is just the college rule sucks when you're on the receiving end of it. This is a great throw here, taking a shot down the field. You got the safety here, gets kind of eaten up. They get kind of eaten up by this vertical, and then you got that shot over the top. Again, good job in protection by Mangum. And I mean, this ball, if there's no interference, this ball looks like it's going to be perfect. And unfortunately, you only get 15 out of it. And so here's one: if you don't, you get unlucky by getting the penalty, really, because if he doesn't interfere with him, he might catch that and score. Instead, you only get 15. You don't end up scoring on this drive. So unfortunate.
Man. This is a great job. Someone at Florida State should really learn that rule.
Yeah, just tackle the guy.
I do love that throughout this game, the first down and yard line of scrimmage markers were glitching. Like it was, you were like 4 hours into like an NCAA 14 like binge marathon, and like the computer's starting to freak out because like, dude, why are you still playing? And then everything's just haywire. So I do love that.
It started to look like the home field advantage when you'd go back out and the older ones when everything was, you'd go look at the play art and you couldn't get to it. So right here, good play call here, good design. So with the motion, the jet motion, he becomes number one. So he's going to take him. So he's going to push vertical. He's going to sneak back underneath. Again, you could tell like Horn's getting into the game plan. They're trying to get him the ball now. And this is just kind of ridiculous in terms of like athleticism. And then an unbelievable throw here. So really, it's kind of the same as that boot earlier. Just kind of a little different formation, a little different look. But this is insane. Like, this is really good, obviously, by McLean to be able to get out of this, then on the run, make that throw. We showed that space earlier that Mordecai made the throw into, right? This is not a huge wide open space right here either. On the run, really good throw. Unfortunately, you get a drop, but that's all right. I think this is next play right here. Throwing the dig backside. Again, this could be RPO as well, off wide zone. Right, you're running wide zone here. It's a little flatter, so you don't have to worry as much about downfield. If he triggers in the run game, it opens up a big window for the dig route. What you get right there, good throw. Nice catch with the safety coming down to get in there. That's really all you got to worry about is that safety. Good catch, first down. Another one. Take a shot. I like it, man cover. Just take a shot down there. Safety's coming over the top. Give your guy a chance. Get yourself a pass interference flag. That's great. This guy can move. I mean, he just looks – he reminds me of some other really, really fast players I've seen play, and just how smooth he is, and just how you can kind of see that second gear kick in a little bit.
Yeah.
He's going to be pretty good here. But so,
I mean, look how I don't know. This entire play is a work of art, and it's putting your players in positions to succeed, right? And that had been an issue for quite a little bit here at USF. So seeing the coaching staff utilize the talent that they have on offense, and you're seeing some of the fruits of that labor. I'm excited for the future. And you said it earlier. They're really starting to get Jimmy involved, and I think his 102 yards was just the opening act, if you will, to what he's going to be able to do.
No, I think this is kind of with the open week here, like he's going to be fully involved, I would imagine. I think that will help. But yeah, I mean, this guy looks like, I mean, I want to say it reminds me, it's just like really high. I think, not saying he's the exact same player, but to me, he looks like when he runs, he looks like Percy Harvin running. Like his lower body, it looks the same kind of smooth, just like eating up yards and they're just smooth with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I just reminded when I watch him run, I'm reminded of Percy Harvin a little bit. So that's good. Hopefully, doesn't have the same love for some illicit substances.
Well, he had migraines, right? I mean, like he legitimately like had very bad migraines,
and I guess that's helped him, but that was not a part of the. They were not lenient on the policy, unfortunately, back then.
No.
So, but again, here speed option, I love it. Get McLean on the perimeter, let him make decisions, and again, once these guys catch it going downhill, they're going to be tough to stop because you've got guys that are not like. Can we get tackled here? Go ahead.
Talk about Brian Petit's ball placement? I mean, that thing's high and tight, brother. That ball's not going anywhere. Look at that thing.
He's a coach's kid, right? So they're not messing around.
Absolutely not.
They've worked it. So a really good job. And then again, he's a tough runner. Got some explosiveness. Getting those guys out in the open space, always a great play call. This is just like a freak of nature, great athleticism here. This is really tough right here. They're going to bring 3 off the backside here. It looks like they've set the protection that way. They bring 3 here, so 1, and now they're bringing 2 on the tackle. So what can the tackle do? He does the right thing right here. He takes the most dangerous guy, which is the inside guy. You'd rather leave a guy on the outside than leave a guy on the inside, right? Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, right?
Absolutely.
So good job by the tackle, seeing it and getting on him, and then a great job by McLean taking care of this free rusher. This is kind of just freaky stuff. And then this is when I think they don't call a touchdown, which I don't know how. Again, we talk about a tough whistle. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think the refs had Jaron on their fantasy team this week, and they needed the yard and then the 6 points.
They knew the Wildcat package was coming in here. I believe this is Mr. Yates right here, right? Coming over from the defense. He just totally body slams a guy, WWE style here at the end. Great job. Just a nice little hip toss there. But you go double tight, so 2 tight ends. Yates here, 2 receivers. And then you got the wild bull or whatever you want to call it. What do they call it here? Has there been any names? I'm sure there's been some names in the past, right?
I don't know what it's called. I think Alabama calls their big packages black, but they color code theirs.
Yeah. So we'll call it the wild bull, or what do you the wild vulture?
The wild vulture, absolutely. I mean, are there any tame vultures? I guess.
I wouldn't
domesticated vultures. Quick note on Jaron's second touchdown. That is a program record, 4 straight games with at least 2 touchdowns.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. He's tied for 10th all time in single season rushing touchdowns with 9 so far. He's 3rd in the country, and his longest touchdown run is 9 yards.
There you go. I saw there was a graph that Parker Fleming, Stats War, put out. If you don't follow him on Twitter, he's a great follow if you're into analytics and that kind of stuff. Stats War, just the O. Stats War. And he put out something because he was trying to see how long Iowa, they kept getting these short fields, kind of what was their average scoring play. And so he did, it was, like field position plus like average length of a scoring play, and USF's average length of scoring play looked like it was under 5 yards. It was so short because think how many times they've been like on the goal line when they've scored. Like it seems like almost every single touchdown has been down there. Just
I want to say it has been. Hold on.
It's a funny graph. It's a funny looking graph. I'll see if I can find it before we get off here. But this is a play.
I can do this quick because I'm almost positive I know every single touchdown that's been had so far this year.
Yeah.
Yes. So the passing touchdown to Xavier Weaver was 8 yards. Okay. Mm-hmm. Jaron Mangum doesn't have a rushing touchdown longer than 9 yards. Mm-hmm. Yesias Young
That was like
has a
1 yard.
1-yard touchdown, and Xavier Weaver has a 3-yard rushing touchdown.
There you go.
That is it. Every single touchdown USF has is 10 yards or shorter.
So we're still waiting on that big explosive play touchdown of 11 yards.
Yeah, well, for the running a game at least, it wouldn't even 11-yard touchdown pass wouldn't even count as a big play. It needs to be 15 yards or more.
So I put this play on here just because I mean the score. I mean you're within 2 scores here. It's the fourth quarter. Do a pretty good job in getting this, getting him to flush out. But I just kind of want to highlight the effort here by guys. So, we talked about in other places, I think when I was on Torello, it's like, what do you watch for if you're not having a ton of success? Like if you're losing the game, what can you watch for? Watch for effort. Watch this. Watch these two guys. I think it's Tramel Logan and Blake Green, I believe. They're chasing the quarterback here. Boyles flushes him out, throws it to Rice. Don't get the tackle here, but look who the two guys that make the tackle are. Blake Green coming from all the way in here, and Tramel Logan's there in case he misses. This is just great effort. Not only did they push the pocket and force the quarterback out of it, but now they're running all the way down the field here, all the way down the line and making that play.
How many yards do you think they just ran?
I mean, that's probably from where they were. I should know that. I think that's like 38 yards from hash to sideline, maybe. No, probably less. Probably, yeah, something. I don't know. 53 all the way across. So could be. Probably not. Maybe I'd say probably at least 30. But then all the running downfield and stuff, total yardage, maybe 50, 60 yards, continuously cutting and moving. And it was 3rd and 9. So you might have got yourself off the field here. So this is just great effort. You can see on the sideline here at the end, I think it's Coach Scott right here. I believe he's the gentleman in the white hat. These guys are still playing really hard. And that's always great to see. And then I thought this was the best throw of the night. This is just a great throw right here. Putting it in the second window. So you got first window throws and second window throws. So right here, if you're running a dig, this would be the first window. The second window would be waiting in here. So basically once I pass the first guy, I have a window. Once I pass the second guy, I have another window. This is a great throw into that second window. And this is not like I'm going to wait till he gets to the window. This is anticipating and throwing him into that window, which is hard to teach guys to anticipate throwing to open windows. This is just great stuff right here. High-level stuff. So you saw some really high-level throws from him. And so I'm more encouraged after rewatching the game and kind of seeing some of this stuff again, the deep out route. I remember, watching the game, the deep out routes, and you're just like, oh, okay. And then just going back and seeing that one, second window, that's not something everybody does, even at the college level. So
and Seth,
awesome to see.
How do you teach that? I know like skeleton drills or what have you. Are you teaching that with trash cans? Or are you teaching that with human bodies and then having the receiver kind of run through those windows? What do you typically do to kind of teach the anticipation throw?
It's hard. I mean, you can – a lot of times, like, Kurt, when I played for Kerwin, we were really like hit your back foot. And this is how I know he teaches now. Like, your back foot hits, this ball's thrown here. Your next step, the ball's thrown here. It's like kind of really sequential of when this ball. And he was really, really, meticulous about exactly where you're cutting your routes, exactly whenever. So everything was really timing based. So you can do it that way. Where you just kind of drill it. Like when I hit my last step, the ball comes out, the receiver better be there. And if it's not, it's on him. And then it's really just a lot of repetition. But like those windows interior, it's a lot, because a lot of times when you hit that back foot, you should be throwing to that first window. But it kind of takes some time to understand that okay, well, the next window's going to come open. So if I throw it there, he's going to get there. But that it's just a lot of repetition, and that's got to be something that's stressed, I think, to the quarterback that, hey, you hit this hitch or you hit this step in your drop, the ball's thrown to that spot. If the receiver doesn't get there, it's his fault, right? So I can only bring up playing for Kerwin because he's the guy I played for that really taught it this way. But there were times where you'd be in a film room and you think, well, maybe that wasn't a good throw by me. It was a little high. And he'd be like, receiver, you're at 5 yards. He'd basically, receiver, you're supposed to be at 10 yards. You're at 8.5. That's your fault. And he would get on the receiver. So it's kind of about everybody understanding kind of the precision in the passing game and the quarterback hitting his steps, making the throw to the spot, and then just kind of understanding how they want to play defensively and where their drops and stuff are. But that's not it's not the easiest thing to teach. There are guys, I remember watching, you'd see guys coming in the NFL and they'd be talking about, this guy's a really high level passer. Look at him anticipate this throw. And it's like, oh, we're doing that we're doing that in high school, but not everybody really teaches that. So it's kind of, not everybody can do it even when you try to teach it. So to see it from a freshman, that's a really good sign of a guy that's anticipating these throws. And when you do that, you're really hard to cover, because if your receiver runs to the right spot and the quarterback throws with timing, really nobody's going to be able to cover you. So good stuff.
Yeah. Again, it's all about progress at this point, and we're seeing some of it. I think you kind of showing what happened on the back end of that interception is something that we can take forward. That there are plays to be had on the defensive side of the ball. Even the touchdown to Reggie Roberson that they just kind of broke contain on.
Yeah. You had him in a
you had him there. Just some of those things they'll hopefully get cleaned up, or at least attempt to get cleaned up, get healthier on that side of the ball to, just drag along, kind of like they need to. They don't need to be Georgia. That's no. They just need to be a little bit better than what they're doing right now, and I think that'll go a long way for the second half of the season.
Yeah, and hopefully you get some healthy bodies back this week, guys. There may even be guys playing that are, hurting a little bit too. So maybe they're not playing at quite 100%. Hopefully the bye week lets them recuperate, and you get and then also, like we've talked about so much this week, you're really going to a different level in the schedule. This first 5 games was really, especially the offenses you played, were all pretty good college offenses with some really tough looks for the defense. Tulsa is pretty bad on offense, if I recall. I believe they're having a tough year offensively. They play a game this week, so you'll get to watch them. I think they play Memphis. So that'll probably be a good look for the offense to see how they play Memphis's offense. But you're going to get a more manageable group of offenses, I think, coming in here. Temple's no great shakes on offense. Houston, they're so with Houston, I don't know. And East Carolina the same way, so up and down. So you don't know what you're going to get, but I don't think you're going to get anything close to the offenses you've already seen. So we're seeing improvement, I think, through the year, even against these really good offenses. So you got to feel that after this bye week, after some rest, after some more time looking at things and practicing, once they hit this next part of the schedule, they should play a little bit better.
Agreed. I don't think we need to continue to beat that dead horse. I think we really kind of touched on it on the podcast this week. Anything else you kind of want to discuss, or you want to kind of wrap up and enjoy our bye week? And I know I've got some Halloween plans. What do you got planned for this weekend?
I got to watch Florida for my Alligator Army stuff. So I'll be watching football all Saturday, trying to record things, and just kind of a normal Saturday routine. Fortunately, and unfortunately.
So, yeah, it would have been nice if the bye weeks lined up.
Yes, that would have been great. But, it is what it is, right? So,
Absolutely.
but I'm encouraged. What's funny is I'm much more encouraged after these last two losses than I was after the FAMU win. Because I just, they were so much better than FAMU. I didn't think they played at a high enough level in that game. I feel a lot better about where they're headed after these two. We talked last week about SMU would provide a different challenge defensively than what BYU did. I thought the offense moved the ball. On the listening back to the broadcast while cutting the film up, you hear them be like, "Finally a touchdown!" It's like they've been moving the ball all game. It's not like they haven't moved the ball that well. They just didn't convert, right? So I thought they played pretty well on offense. Defensively, better than I expected. I think against SMU, though, they just get so many possessions that you're not going to hold them into the 20s or anything like that. So the key was to able to sustain drives on offense and kind of take them out of their game. Didn't quite do that, but I think you have to be encouraged.
100%. Guys, enjoy the bye week. Get rest because it's going to be a fun ride down to Black Friday, folks. It's going to be interesting. We're going to learn a lot about this team, a lot about this coaching staff over the next couple of months, month and a half or so, I guess, at this point. Man, football season's flying by already.
I know. It's
man.
And don't forget about this tomorrow, 10 a.m.
10 a.m., guys. Be ready.
Stay tuned to the Daily Stampede Twitter as well. I believe there will be some type of good information if you're looking to make a home field purchase. And
100%.
Really excited for everybody to see this stuff. I know people have been clamoring for these types of things, so I think it'll get a really good response. So excited to have some small part of it with us here. So
absolutely, I'm excited for the partnership. I'm excited for you guys to see all the designs and break the bank. Payday's on Friday.
There you
go. Spend all your money now. You get paid on Friday. So
this is gonna be great Christmas presents. You're good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't express enough how soft these shirts are.
Yeah.
Like they're incredible. So I'm excited for that.
Only question was, where do we get the film? It's just the TV copy. We just get it off the TV and upload it into some coaching software. And that's what we do. So just straight from TV. People put it on YouTube too. If you want to go on YouTube and search the game, a lot of times you'll see highlights up there. So if you guys want to watch it yourselves, watch it back. YouTube, I think ESPN Plus probably has it up too.
Probably
in full. So yeah, there's a few places to get it. But.
Absolutely. Well, for Seth and myself, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching another TDS Live as we break down the SMU game film. And we'll be back next week. I doubt we'll have a film room. Maybe we'll do a film room on Tulsa instead.
Oh, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. But
maybe we'll finally get Airbud Golden Receiver out here for everybody.
Yeah, maybe. But we'll be back with the podcast that's proudly presented by Irish 31. Make sure you guys go hang out at Irish 31. Go watch some football there this weekend. Go enjoy some mimosas on Sunday before a big day of NFL. I mean, it's a perfect place. 7 great locations. Be sure to check them out. Again, for Nathan and Seth, this has been another fun edition of TDS Live. Peace out. Go Bulls.